Hey everyone, it's tarekith again, and I wanted to do a quick follow-up video to my Electribe review I posted yesterday. I had quite a few questions concerning one specific aspect, and that was the sync with the Electribe, as far as syncing with the laptop or computer, and also the iPad running Gadget. So here's a couple quick little tests. I could show you exactly what I've been experiencing. I haven't had any problems personally, although I did see a couple instances where I could see some people might have some issues. So anyway, the first example here, I have a simple 4/4 kick loop in Ableton programmed right now, and that is the master sync controlling the Electribe. And I also have a little kick loop going on in the Electribe, so we'll start that and you can hear how well they sync up for yourselves. So that's both kick drums. They're both pretty synced up. That's just the Electribe. That's just Ableton. That's both of them together again. Again, this is Ableton being the master, and I think that's pretty rock solid. I'd have no problems using that for studio use or live use. But let's kind of switch it up a little bit. Let's make Ableton the slave and the Electribe be the master. And again, I'm syncing both of them up via USB directly. There's no MIDI interfaces involved. And this time I will make, like I said, the Electribe the master and Ableton as a slave. So you can hear there, like right at the very start, they did start they were kind of offbeat. It took Ableton a little bit to catch up and kind of lock up to what was going on with the Electribe. But it sounded like they got pretty close once they did lock up. Let's try that again. That's just the Electribe. That's both of them. And that's just Ableton. So yeah, they're kind of synced up, but there is a little bit of flamming going on there. They're not quite totally locked up. Let's try one more time. Yeah, so again, same thing. They kind of get the same tempo, but they don't really ever seem to kind of sync up, exactly on beat like they should be. And again, that's with the Electribe being the master and live being the slave. And when live was the master and the Electribe was a slave, it was the exact opposite. It was totally dead on. There was no problems whatsoever. So yeah, there is an issue there with the Electribe being the master, it looks like, at least as far as controlling Ableton Live on my specific MacBook Pro. Let me unplug things here and reset up, and we'll try with the Electribe next. Okay, here we are back again, and obviously now the iPad is hooked up, not the Electribe, like I just said. Interesting to note that the Korg Gadget doesn't have a MIDI output unless you're using Mwist, which I understand it doesn't work in iOS 8. So the only way to sync these two up is with the Electribe as the master and the iPad as the slave, which I've gone ahead and done. Same thing, I programmed simple 4-bar drum loop in the iPad and a 4-bar drum loop in the Electribe, and we can hear how closely they match up here synced. Again, this is all over USB with the camera connection kit going directly into the iPad. So that's both together. That's just the Electribe. That's both together again. So yeah, I didn't catch it. These didn't sync up. When I've been using these before, mostly, well, entirely, I had the iPad just running synth parts, pads and effects and things like that. So that slight little bit of timing slop, that little bit of flamming you hear going on, I just didn't realize was happening. So now that I've tested it and now you can hear it for yourselves, it's something to be aware of. Again, the Electribe is the master MIDI clock, and the iPad running Gadget is a slave. And they sync up, but there definitely is a slight discrepancy there in timing. One of them is a little bit late. It sounds like the iPad's just a tad bit late. And we saw the same thing with Ableton Live. When Ableton was a slave, and the Electribe was the master again, Ableton was a bit behind. So if Ableton's the master and Electribe's the slave, it works great, but so far it looks like the Electribe, the MIDI clock, yeah, it's a little sloppy. So anyway, just making you guys aware of it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll test if I can, and hope this is a little helpful. Thanks.